Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. You know, it's the first day of November, and here in New York, there is a chill in the air because Donald Trump is coming to town. The president will reportedly be here tomorrow to attend a UFC fight. Trump's a big fan of ultimate fighting. He loves being in a room where someone else's face is more swollen than his. Apparently, after the match, the president is expected to stay at Trump Tower, which, combined with this weekend's New York City Marathon, could cause major traffic congestion in Manhattan. Yeah, it could be a real problem. It could be a real problem, everybody. So if you have plans to be in New York City and want to beat the traffic, you should leave no later than 3 days ago. Of course, the real ultimate fight going on is over Trump's impeachment. Yesterday, on Halloween, the House voted to formalize the impeachment inquiry. After all, It makes sense. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. It is November, and it's time to toss out that rotting jack-o'-lantern. If the House votes to impeach Trump, it'll, of course, head to the Senate for the trial, where the president's fate will be in the hands of Senate Majority Leader and man with built-in travel pillow, Mitch McConnell. McConnell, he looks comfortable. McConnell has been prepping Trump for an impeachment trial, and last week gave him some advice. Stop attacking senators, including Mitt Romney, who likely will soon judge your fate. Yes! You better be nice to Republicans, or else they're gonna rise up with one voice and say, "You got it, boss. Don't forget to say my wife's ugly and my dad killed JFK." You want a piggyback ride? Senate Republicans swear they want to conduct a real impeachment trial. Texas Senator John Cornyn said, "I think it's important the Senate process be viewed as fair and serious." And Senator David Perdue told CNN, "What I want is to hear both sides of the argument." Yes, both sides. The president has abused his office to seek election help from a foreign government versus we don't care. So the Senate could hold hearings full of shocking testimony, then just ignore it and vote how they intended to in the first place. It'll just be like Kavanaugh, except Trump doesn't drink. I like chocolate cake. I still like chocolate cake. But I did not eat chocolate cake to the point of blacking out. Are you gonna finish that chocolate cake? Because I'm gonna boof that chocolate cake. It hits you faster when you boof it. Of course, it's easier with an eclair. Of course. Oh. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh. Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Come on. Write that down. Write down when I said that, okay? Of course, Trump's not the only focus of this impeachment. The other leading man is his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who's on the cover of Time magazine. Too bad this came out after Halloween, because it would make a great scary mask. Joe Biden bad. Now, gets surprisingly steamy in there. Now, the article recounts Giuliani's recent bizarre behavior, including the time he butt-dialed an NBC reporter who heard him tell an associate, "The problem is we need some money," adding, "We need a few $100,000. The reporter was able to hear it so clearly because, as usual, Rudy was talking out of his ass. Now, thank you. Oh, my goodness. Rudy's butt dial is even dumber when you consider that back in 2017, Trump named Giuliani as a cybersecurity advisor. All right, who do I know that's young, sharp, and a whiz with computers? I know, my drunk 73-year-old lawyer. Now, here's the other thing. We just found out that less than a month after Rudy got that job, he needed an Apple genius to help unlock his phone. I keep trying to butt dial, but it doesn't recognize my ass print. I don't understand.
What?
I don't.
What?
None of this should come as a surprise. Rudy can't even figure out how to wear AirPods. Wow. Wow, these are expensive Q-tips. Living La Vida Rudy does not come cheap. According to Time magazine, the former mayor enjoys a $230,000 a month lifestyle. Wow, that is a generous use of the word life and style. But $230,000 a month, why does he go to a dentist who operates under the Cross Bronx Expressway? According to Time, Giuliani's real problem is that he's mixing his work for the government with some work for questionable foreign business deals. But Giuliani insists he's done nothing wrong, saying, of course I don't mix those two things. Unless you mean wine and sleeping pills, because I definitely mix those right before I go on Hannity. Now, despite his troubles, Giuliani is confident Trump won't turn on him, explaining he's 100% in my corner and as loyal to me as I am to him. Yes, he's just as loyal to you as he is to his wife Ivana, his wife Marla, his wife Melania, his buddies Paul Manafort, Michael Cohen, Reince Priebus, Rex Tillerson, John Kelly, John Bolton, Jim Mattis, the Kurds, Meatloaf, Chris Christie, Chris Christie again, Chris Christie again. You know what? It's only an hour show.